Before you try to change your life, you must understand one thing: you are not controlled by your circumstances, you are controlled by your thinking. The world has always been chaotic. What changes is not the world, but the quality of the mind that observes it. When you master your thoughts, you stop being a victim of life and become a conscious participant in it. This is where true power begins. Most people live as if their thoughts are commands. A thought appears and they obey it. A doubt arises and they retreat. A fear speaks and they surrender. But this is confusion. A thought is not truth. A thought is not reality. A thought is simply a mental event. It appears, it makes noise, and it disappears if you do not hold on to it. The problem is not the thought itself. The problem is identification. And from a young age, we are trained to believe that everything happening in our mind is us. If anger appears, we say, "I am angry." If fear appears, we say, "I am afraid." But notice the language. The moment you say "I am," you merge your identity with a passing mental state. This is where suffering begins. Because if you believe you are your thoughts, then you become unstable, changing every moment, strong 1 minute, weak the next. Then in disciplined training, the first lesson is observation. Before control, there must be awareness. Sit quietly and watch your mind. You will notice that thoughts arise without permission. You did not invite them, yet they arrive. If you did not create them consciously, how can they define you? This realization creates space. And in that space, choice is born. When you observe a thought instead of reacting to it, you step out of automatic behavior. You are no longer dragged by every impulse. This is mental strength. Not the absence of thoughts, but the ability to remain steady while they pass. Just as clouds move across the sky without changing the sky itself, thoughts move through the mind without changing your true nature, unless you cling to them. Many people ask how to stop negative thinking. This is the wrong question. You do not need to stop thoughts. You need to stop obeying them. Resistance gives thoughts more power. Observation dissolves them. The moment you watch a thought without judgment, it loses its grip. It can no longer command you. It can only exist. Understand this clearly. Your life is not shaped by what you think occasionally, but by what you repeatedly identify with. If you constantly identify with weakness, you will act weak. If you identify with discipline, you will behave with strength. Identity is built through repetition, and repetition begins with awareness. When a thought says, "I am not good enough," notice it. Do not argue. Do not accept it. Simply observe. Ask yourself, who is noticing this thought? The one who notices cannot be the thought itself. This question returns you to your center. From the center, you respond instead of react. This is why mental mastery is not emotional suppression. It is clarity. You allow thoughts to exist without letting them dictate your behavior. A warrior does not fight every noise on the battlefield. He moves with purpose. The mind must be trained the same way. When you stop confusing yourself with your thoughts, you reclaim authority. Authority over your reactions, authority over your direction, authority over your life. This is the foundation of self-mastery. Not motivation, not excitement, discipline of awareness. If you want to master your life, start here. Watch your thoughts. Do not follow them blindly. Do not fight them aggressively. Stand firm, observe, choose. This is how inner freedom is built. And once inner freedom is established, no external situation can enslave you again. And once inner freedom is established, no external situation can enslave you again. But freedom alone is not enough. A free mind without direction becomes distracted. This is where attention must be trained. Because whether you realize it or not, your attention is shaping your life every single moment. What you repeatedly look at, think about, and dwell upon becomes your reality over time. Not by magic, but by alignment. Attention is the bridge between thought and outcome. Wherever your attention rests, energy flows there. And whatever receives energy begins to grow. If your attention constantly feeds worry, your life feels heavy. If it feeds resentment, your days become bitter. If it feeds discipline, clarity, and purpose, your life begins to organize itself naturally. This is not philosophy. This is observable truth. Most people do not choose their attention. It is stolen. Stolen by noise, by comparison, by constant stimulation. Their minds jump from one thing to another, never resting, never deepening. When attention is scattered, effort is wasted. When effort is wasted, frustration grows. And people mistakenly blame life when the real issue is lack of focus. Abandon demonsteri. To master your thoughts, you must reclaim your attention. Attention is a limited resource. You do not have endless mental energy. Every moment you give your attention to something meaningless, you are withdrawing energy from something important. This is why discipline of attention is discipline of life. Notice how your inner state changes depending on where your attention is placed. When you focus on what is missing, you feel lack. When you focus on what is within your control, you feel strength. When you focus on the past, you feel regret. When you focus on the present task, you feel grounded. Your emotional state follows your attention like a shadow. Training attention is not about forcing concentration. It is about repeatedly returning to what matters. Just as in physical training, you do not lift a weight once and expect strength. You return again and again. Each return builds stability. Each return strengthens your command over the mind. This is why simple practices are powerful. Sitting still, breathing consciously, completing one task fully before moving to the next. These actions train the mind to stay where it is placed. A mind that can stay is a mind that can build. A mind that cannot stay will always chase, never arrive. Mentiras. Understand this clearly. Your future is not created by grand decisions, but by small, consistent placements of attention. What you read daily, what you listen to repeatedly, what you think about in silence. These are the invisible architects of your destiny. Change these, and your life changes quietly, steadily, permanently. Many people seek dramatic transformation, but mastery is subtle. It happens when no one is watching. When you choose not to engage with useless thoughts. When you withdraw attention from negativity. When you invest attention in effort, learning, and self-discipline. Over time, this compounds. If you want a powerful life, guard your attention like a warrior guards his weapon. Do not let it be pulled in every direction. Decide what deserves your focus. Decide what does not. This decision, made daily, determines the quality of your mind. And the quality of your mind determines the quality of your life. Master your attention, and you master the direction of your thoughts. Master your thoughts, and your life will follow with precision. Don't master your attention, and you master the direction of your thoughts. Master your thoughts, and your life will follow with precision. However, clarity and focus alone do not create results. They create possibility. What turns possibility into reality is discipline. Discipline is the force that converts intention into form. Without it, even the clearest mind remains powerless. With it, even simple thoughts become achievements. Many people misunderstand discipline. They think it is harsh, restrictive, or joyless. This misunderstanding keeps them weak. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is devotion to what matters. It is choosing long-term alignment over short-term comfort. The mind may imagine a better life, but only disciplined action gives that image substance. Thoughts are light. Discipline is gravity. Without gravity, light scatters. With gravity, light becomes direction. When your thinking is disciplined, your actions become reliable. And when your actions are reliable, your life becomes stable. Stability is not boredom. Stability is strength. Notice how people fail, not because they lack ideas, but because they lack consistency. They wait to feel motivated. They wait for the right mood. But moods change, energy fluctuates, discipline remains. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It asks what must be done. This is why disciplined people progress, while emotional people repeat the same cycle. Benjared, every day your thoughts suggest many actions. Some are useful, many are distractions. Discipline is the filter. It selects what serves your direction and rejects what does not. Without this filter, your life becomes reactive. With it, your life becomes intentional. Must understand this deeply. Freedom is not the absence of structure, but the presence of self-imposed structure. When you cannot control your habits, you are not free. When you can direct your behavior regardless of circumstances, you are. Discipline gives your mind a framework in which it can operate without chaos. Discipline also protects you from yourself, from your impulses, from your excuses, from your tendency to choose ease over growth. This protection is not cruel. It is compassionate. A disciplined mind does not demand perfection. It demands commitment. Small disciplines practiced daily create powerful momentum. Waking up at a set time, training even when motivation is low, finishing what you start. These are not dramatic acts, but they build internal trust. When you keep promises to yourself, your mind learns to listen to you. This is authority. Then, without discipline, thoughts remain fantasies. With discipline, thoughts become plans. Plans become actions. Actions repeated become identity, and identity shapes destiny. This is the bridge discipline builds step by step without shortcuts. Dumb-lanced. If you want to master your life, do not ask for easier conditions. Ask for stronger discipline. Because when discipline is present, conditions lose their power over you. You move forward whether it is comfortable or not. This is how thought becomes reality. This is how mastery is earned. This is how mastery is earned. Bendius. Now understand this clearly, because many people remain trapped here for their entire lives. Emotion does not lead thought. Emotion follows thought. You feel before you think only because the thinking happens so fast, you do not notice it. But every emotional reaction is preceded by an interpretation. Change the interpretation, and the emotion changes with it. When people say, I can't control how I feel, this is only half true. You may not control the first sensation, but you absolutely control how long it stays and how deeply it rules you. Emotions are signals, not commanders. When you treat them as leaders, you lose direction. When you treat them as information, you gain clarity. Observe your own experience. Two people face the same situation. One becomes calm, the other becomes angry. The situation is identical. The response is not. What changed was the meaning given to it. One mind created threat, the other created challenge. Emotion followed thought. Bond. Most suffering comes not from events, but from the stories we attach to them. A delay becomes disrespect. A mistake becomes failure. Silence becomes rejection. These stories are not facts, they are interpretations. And interpretations shape emotional reality. When the mind is undisciplined, emotions rise and fall like uncontrolled waves. You feel strong one moment, defeated the next. This instability is exhausting. Mental mastery does not remove emotion, it stabilizes it. You still feel, but you are no longer ruled. Calm thinking creates calm emotion. Chaotic thinking creates emotional turbulence. This is why clarity of thought is emotional strength. A trained mind does not deny emotion, but it does not dramatize it either. It observes, names, and responds with precision. When anger arises, instead of saying, I am angry, say, anger is present. This small shift creates distance. Distance creates choice. Choice creates control. The emotion loses its authority the moment you stop identifying with it. Emotional strength is not hardness. It is flexibility. The ability to experience emotion without being consumed by it. A warrior feels fear. He simply does not obey it. A disciplined mind allows emotion to pass through without hijacking action. Ben, if you want to master your life, stop asking how to control your emotions. Ask how to refine your thinking. Ask what interpretation you are feeding. Ask what story you are repeating. Change the story, and the emotion changes naturally. Change it. This is inner leadership. You lead your emotional state instead of being dragged by it. And when emotion no longer controls you, your actions become steady. Steady actions build reliable results. Reliable results build confidence that is quiet, grounded, and unshakable. Master your thoughts, and your emotions will follow. Master your emotions, and your life will stop reacting and start moving forward with purpose, and start moving forward with purpose. Now remember this, mastery is not a moment of inspiration. It is not a decision you make once and carry forever. Mastery is a daily practice. Each day, the mind must be trained again. Each day, attention must be reclaimed again. Each day, discipline must be chosen again. There are no shortcuts here, and there is no finish line. Many people fail because they look for permanent motivation, but motivation fades. What remains is habit. And habit is the result of repetition. You do not master your thoughts by understanding this message once. You master them by applying it when it is inconvenient, when you are tired, when no one is watching. And some days your practice will feel strong, other days it will feel weak. This is natural. Do not measure your progress by how you feel. Measure it by whether you showed up. Consistency builds strength even when enthusiasm is absent, especially when enthusiasm is absent. Each morning, your mind resets. Old patterns try to return. Old thoughts knock on the door again. This is not failure. This is training. Every time you notice and choose differently, you are strengthening your inner authority. Every small act of awareness compounds. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions never arrive. Train in the conditions you are given. Train in distraction. Train in discomfort. Train in uncertainty. This is how the mind becomes resilient. Mastery also requires patience. Growth is often invisible in the beginning. Like roots forming beneath the ground, real change happens quietly. Trust the process. Stay with the practice. The results will reveal themselves in your behavior long before they announce themselves in your circumstances. Understand this. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your daily discipline. What you practice becomes automatic. What becomes automatic becomes your character, and your character shapes your life. So return each day, observe your thoughts, direct your attention, act with discipline. Refine your thinking. This is the path, simple, demanding, and transformative. Tamil Engines. May your mind become steady, your attention clear, and your actions aligned. May you walk forward with patience, strength, and quiet confidence. And may your mastery deepen with every single day.